I'm live. I never know if this thing's actually live or not, though. It says I'm live. Can you guys see me? Let me know. What I'm going to do is usually what I do with my streams is okay. James says I am indeed live, so thanks, James. I usually wait like a minute or two, let people kind of cycle in, cycle out, whatever, and then we'll start with the actual video. So I guess I'll just start with the beginning, and it's my birthday. Well, technically 2 days ago was my birthday, but I wanted to stream Sunday. I had a video planned for today, but that video got messed up because of YouTube being YouTube, and I didn't like upload properly or something. I don't know. So while I sort that issue out or figure out what I'm going to do with that, I figured I would move Sunday stream day to Saturday stream day. So that is the reason why I'm streaming today. And I figured, it's my birthday. That's why I got all dressed up today. You guys see this? I'm all dressed up. I hope you guys are all dressed up. Oh. I put on this snazzy suit, for you guys. Because you guys are number one. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So today we're having a pretty fun show. It's going to pretty much be about me talking about Star Wars news. I might be dipping into Marvel news a little bit, but mostly just Star Wars, and be answering questions and stuff like that. Once I figure out how I can do games again with the new YouTube live streaming, then I'll do some gaming later on. But for right now, we're just going to sit here and talk and have a little podcast, little netcast. So, yeah, if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them in the chat. I'll do my best to get as many as possible. I plan to be on for about an hour, so that's plenty of time to just kind of, hammer some questions. We'll talk about stuff. Yeah, that should be good enough, right? I think that covers the bases, right? Yeah. If I missed your question, just feel free to message it again, and yeah, and I'll get to it. I plan to get to it depending on how many people message. So yeah, let's begin. Oh, by the way, last week when I was doing my stream, I said that the Discord was in the description, but upon investigation, I found out that I actually didn't put it in there. So it's now in the description. So if you guys want to join the Net Alliance Discord, go over there. We've been around for about a year now, but when we first had it, let me think. When my subs first made it for me, we had some complications with it. People, people who created it didn't really want to be part of it anymore, and so I had to find other people, and it was just kind of rough. So now we're actually truly building it. Before it was made and we got people in, but now we're actually trying to build it. So if you guys have buddies who want to jump into the Discord and talk, there's a meme chat. There's a meme chat. Sorry. There's a meme chat in there. There is a just a regular chat. You can talk to other Net fans, Star Wars fans, Marvel fans. It's a really good community. We keep the toxicity out of it, so you can go over there to speak your mind, and that's cool. I think that's something that not every Discord does. So we actually do monitor, make sure that everyone is just being kind, and it's not hard to be kind. So yeah. Now with that said, and out of the way, and I'm all dressed up, let us begin answering some questions. So first one, let us begin with Rachel Doyle. She says, do you think in Clone Wars Season 7, Ahsoka should have rejoined the Jedi? So, I don't think so. I think I like the way that she went out, because while she is still a Jedi at heart, she isn't part of their organization. She doesn't necessarily believe in their ways. And while she was raised to believe one way, she kind of came off as an anti-Anakin. Anakin was a Jedi who then turned Sith, where Ahsoka was a Jedi who then turned more of a gray Jedi. And I know that's not technically canon of a term, or maybe it is now, but I remember it not being one, and people getting really, really upset if you use that term. But that's how I always viewed it. And I think I like Ahsoka being more in that gray territory, that you can still be a good person, you can still use your powers for good, but it doesn't mean you have to follow the specific religious sect. You know what I mean? It's just like, if you are a good person, doesn't mean you have to be. It's like in real life, and I'm just going to touch on religion real quick. It's not going to be anything offensive or anything like that. But like, let's say you're a Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ and stuff. You can do that, and you can meet somebody who believes in the values that Jesus sends, but doesn't actually believe in Jesus himself. So in a way, you both believe the same thing. It's just one has more of a religious side of it on top of it, compared to just being a good person. And that's what's interesting. You can come at it from like different points of view. So I think that's interesting that they kept her that way, especially considering now that she escaped, the Jedi all did technically, well, not all of them, but the majority of the Jedi did die, and so she's not a Jedi anymore, right? So she can live, that type of thing. But and you get away with a lot of other stuff, like in the movies, and like there's no more Jedi left. Well, you're right, there is no Jedi left, because Ahsoka technically isn't a Jedi. It's like that like perfect George Lucas responses. Whenever someone says, well, why is this, if this doesn't make sense? Like, he'll give you a reason, and it's kind of like a cash out reason, like a reason that says like came to the top of his head. You know what I mean? Like, he was like, well, you see, what comes down to is it's this, and that's what it is, and then us Star Wars fans go, what? Okay, well, now you have to post about this and make videos, and that's kind of how that goes. So, yeah. All right. Moving on to the next question. This one is from Antaz Bulent, and he says, how do you feel about Ahsoka living past Return of the Jedi? Okay, so this is the thing with this. This is the most important part about any character who he saw in the past, who is now going to be part of the future, who wasn't in the movies. As long as they give an actual good reason for why she's not in the movies, why she didn't show up to help take down the Empire, which she would have. If they have a good reason, I'm okay with it. And I'm pretty sure they're going to. But I do think that I'm interested to see what happens, but I hope it's not like like I mentioned earlier about the George Lucas cash out question or answers. You know what I mean? I hope it's an actual good, fully explained, narratively coherent explanation. So I guess we'll wait and see how that goes. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on that one. Next one. This one's from the hold up, I missed. Okay, Aboidi Smalls, and he says, Aboidi Smalls. Is that your real name? It kind of sounds like a Star Wars character name in a way. That's cool though. Not attacking. I like that name. It's funny. I mean, it's interesting. It's just yeah. Anyways, where was I? Okay, so he says, happy birthday, Ned. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Did you know that they added prequel characters such as Anakin and Obi-Wan to the Star Wars Battlefront 2? What? No, I'm kidding. I knew that. Yeah, that's when they announced that. I think I jumped on. I when that game came out, I played for like 2 weeks and I said, it's not for me. And then like a couple months later, people like my subs, when I used to do a lot more streaming, and they were like, hey, why don't you stream some Battlefront 2? And I'm like, I don't really want to. And they're like, come on. So I ended up playing the game because people wanted me to. And I think that's what really kind of made me not want to play it the most, was because I wasn't playing for enjoyment. I was playing because people like wanted me to play. And I kind of like, I lost the interest in playing in it, which is a shame because eventually I heard it got pretty good. Like they really made it good. And then the update came out with Anakin, and I was like, all right, let's play it. And I played Anakin, and he was so OP. Like it was impossible to even get him because he's like people constantly picked him. But when I played him, I was like, this is the way. I know he's OP, I know he is too powerful. I know they'll nerf him. I know they'll make him weaker, and that's okay. But at the time, I was just like this is how the Chosen One should be. This is how Anakin should be played in the game. And I don't know if they nerfed him since. They probably did, because he would wreck. He could take an entire team down by himself. But and I remember, I think I took out like three heroes out of a 4-hero team with Anakin, and before then I might have been able to barely take out one guy. So and I'm not even that good at that game, so I could imagine someone who was like amazing Anakin just take out an entire team. I don't know, but for my personal opinion, I wanted to really love that game. But a part of me is kind of held back because when I was a kid, there were the original 2005 Battlefront 2, and then there was Battlefront 1, which came out in 2003, 2? Whatever the case, they were great games. So for me, I always view these new Battlefronts as EA presents Star Wars Battlefield, and then they scratched out the field part and added front. You know what I mean? And I like Battlefield series. It's fine. I like the Battlefront series. That's fine. But I don't really want to have them combined. I kind of like them to be separate things. And who knows? Maybe we're getting a lot of other HD remakes in Star Wars games. My theory is that we're going to get an HD remake of the original Battlefront 2. It actually might be 1 and 2 combined. And it's going to be called like the Battlefront, the Battlefront Classic Collection or something like that. And we'll probably get that before the release of the next movie. If not, I heard rumors that actually Battlefront 3 is going to get released at the end of this year. So that's interesting. I mean, it makes sense. Why would they cancel the updates for Battlefront 2 if you're not going to release something in its way? And in fact, they might be announcing that like in the next week. So I think people aren't putting those two things together. But if I was a production company during this pandemic situation, and I stopped doing updates to a game, to the previous game that really did come along and people really did end up liking it, I have plans. Do you know what I mean? I'm not just going to leave that go. There's plans there. So I guess we'll see. Maybe Battlefront 3 will do something that will bring me back into the series. But for right now, I'm gonna hold on it, because I didn't even buy Fallen Order yet either. And the reason for Fallen Order is because I know I'm kind of spending a lot of time on this question, but we still got a whole hour, guys. So keep your questions coming. The reason why I didn't buy Fallen Order was because for me, Fallen Order looked like what is it? Dead Souls? Oh, Dark Souls. It looks like Dark Souls. And I played Dark Souls at my buddy's house one time, and he was like, "Oh, this game is so amazing." And I was playing, I'm like, this isn't fun. Like, I get the idea of challenge, and if people like challenge and stuff like that, that's 100% okay. But for me, I kind of was sitting there like, this, I'm not really having fun getting wrecked all this time. Now, I heard that Fallen Order is actually a little bit easier. It's more of like a Dark Souls light. But when I was playing, it wasn't as much as I was mad at the difficulty. It was more like I didn't like the gameplay. I thought it was too slashy. I don't know how to explain that. I don't know why, but it comes off that way. And for me, it kind of pulls me away. I have heard though, there have been some updates. They've kind of changed the gameplay a little bit, tweaked it to make it play more like other games, like Assassin's Creed-ish type games, like the older Assassin's Creed games. Whatever the case, I haven't played it yet, but I will jump in when that game hits $30 somewhere. I'll pick it up, and then I'll do like a stream, and we'll play through the entire game or something like that. But for right now, it's a no bueno for me. All right, so with that long explanation out of the way, let us jump into our next thing here. What do we got here? Okay, this one is Hooded Maniac 360. He said, "What is your favorite movie?" Okay, so right now I'm actually working on a list of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. And I'm not going to give you my favorite because I want that video to be a surprise. But I have said it in the past. So if you've been around for a while, if you have subscribers in here who have been around for a while, you guys know what I'd say. But yeah, you'll have to wait and see. I will tell you this, Revenge of the Sith is in the top 10. Is it number 1, though? That's the question. I guess we'll wait and see. All right, next one. This one is from the smuggler, the smug smuggler. Oh, you're smug, I see. He says, have you read The Lord of the Rings? I have not read them, but I have watched them, and they're an amazing trilogy. The best trilogy in cinema. I'm going to say it right there. When people hear me say that, they go to me and they go, what? Did you say Lord of the Rings is better than Star Wars? What? How are you going to say that? And then I'm just like, because it's true. I love Star Wars. If we're talking franchises, Star Wars franchise is my absolute favorite franchise of all time. If you couldn't tell by my posters and my merchandise all around here, it's all Star Wars based. They even have like a flip book. Even my Net Alliance poster behind me, it's got Vader. You know what I mean? Star Wars is my favorite franchise. But if we're talking overall best cohesive trilogy out of any franchise, Lord of the Rings. It's if you have not watched it, guys, watch it. It's so good. I've heard people talk. It's the only franchise or the only trilogy I've ever think that when someone talks bad about it, I actually like want to punch them in the face. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't know what they're talking about. So I gotta fix it by giving a nice smack in the noggin. You know? No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually punch anybody, of course, because I'm not violent. But it does make you go like it makes you question who they are. You know, they could be your best friend your entire life. They could buy you lunch. You know, they could take you out to a movie. You guys could be hanging out every day, all day. And then one day you're like, you know what, let's watch Lord of the Rings. And they're like, nah, I hate those movies. Like you question that person now. That person is no longer your best friend. And that is why it's so good. Oh man, the other day, I'll tell you this one. The other day I went out to eat with it was me, my wife, my two friends, and they both brought their girlfriends. And well, the one's fiance, and then the other friend, he brought his girlfriend, who they just started dating, and we're all talking about whatever. And then the Lord of the Rings thing comes up, and oh no, I think they came up. Me. Oh my gosh, what happened? Me being a YouTuber came up. That's right, and he was explaining like how I do a bunch of different stuff. Like I talk about Star Wars stuff and Marvel stuff, and like I have a fun, entertaining channel. Subscribe, by the way, if you haven't. And he said she asked me, oh, do you like the Hobbit series? I'm like, well, I mean, I don't mind the Hobbit, but I mean, Lord of the Rings is, you know, far superior to that. And she's like, I don't agree with that. I actually think the Hobbit's better. And I looked at her and I looked at her for a second, and then I looked at my friend. I'm like, you realize you can't date her anymore, right? This is wrong. So what I did was I took we were out to eat, right? I took my steak and I slapped her in the face with my steak. And I was just like, no. And she was like, okay, sorry. And then we haven't talked since. So I'd say I did a good job. You know, what else was I supposed to do? Just sit there and let her have her own opinion? You know, it was a bad opinion, so I had to fix it. So at the end of the day, that's just how things are. So yeah. Now, if just to be safe, I didn't actually slap her with my steak, just so you guys know. It was a joke. You guys might have known that, but I don't want anyone here who's new thinking, oh, here's this nice YouTuber and being like, oh, this dude slaps people's steaks. Ugh, you know. I'm just kidding. Okay, so let's jump into the next question here. So I saw something. Where was that one? The Hobbit book is less boring than the Lord of the Rings books. I could understand that. I will give that one to you. The movies are great, but the Hobbit book I've heard is more like entertaining for younger readers. Not only because it's meant for younger readers. The Lord of the Rings was supposed to be more of a mature book, and its themes aren't supposed to be as fun. They're supposed to be, you know, sad and dire. And so I could understand that explanation there. Okay, I saw another one. Where was that one? Where were we looking at? Okay, Claudius Alexander Effenfinger. This is the Enfinger. Sorry, this is the Roman general that shows up in my shows up in my chats. Great name. He says, "Happy birthday. Who do you think is better character, Obi-Wan Kenobi or Luke Skywalker?" So this is a good question because while they are similar in some traits, they are almost like total opposites in personality as well, which is interesting that they did that. If we're talking about who is the better younger character, I'd say Luke. There's more dynamic to him. Obi-Wan is a very straightforward Jedi. But when we're talking about them as older characters, Obi-Wan annihilates Luke. If you guys know my thought process on how Luke was handled in The Last Jedi, Obi-Wan is just such a good, wise mentor who has so many layers to him. He's only got one movie. You know, technically, old Obi-Wan has one movie, Episode 4, right? He got one movie, and in that movie, he makes you remember him. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't just know him as the old guy who mentors Luke, which he is, but he's got a character. You know what I mean? He's just good. And old Luke is like, yes, he has those layers. And the movie's saying, like, here are these layers. Here's a flashback. You know, here's another flashback. There are the layers for you. We're giving you the layers. There's his layers. But it almost feels more empty to do that. Obi-Wan, you don't get flashbacks. You get, like, he mentions the Clone Wars one time. He talks about Anakin Skywalker and like what happened. Well, a certain point of view. You know what I mean? He tells you these different points, and you just can believe him because he's like, Alec Guinness is an amazing actor, of course, and he just played it so well. And he didn't need the extra information, and it made him feel more cohesive, and to me anyways. And I might be wrong. Maybe people like the flashbacks from the Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, but I do think that there is a little bit missing when it comes to Luke's character. And I don't think that, I guess while you said he was redeemed in the end, there was points where I just think, like, story-wise, his redemption could have been more better. So I've done plenty of videos like that in the past. So go check out my previous videos if you want my thoughts on that. Yeah, so that's my thought process on that one. So what do you guys think? Who do you guys prefer? Do you like Luke Skywalker more or Obi-Wan Kenobi more? Let me know in the chat. Okay, next one. Okay, this one's from Ollie Mendoza. He says, favorite clone season. Favorite Clone Wars season. So I get this one a lot too, and it always changes. I'm surprised by how much I like the first few seasons. When the show first aired, and I would kind of catch them every so often on TV show, I really thought that they were just like bad. It's a bad show. But as time has gone on, I've really grown to appreciate it. I think it's because the first few seasons, especially like the first two, they were more for kids, I guess. But as they go on, they mature. Not only does the action and the violence get more mature, but the actual like characters, their points of views, the plot lines, they mature with the audience. So I think that's cool that they could actually do that and do it right. And so I think for me, I like my Clone Wars Star Wars when it's not afraid to be more mature. So whenever, like, I always say this one, probably the Darth Maul and Savage, when they team up, that's probably my favorite season. And the reason for that is because they just murder people. There is no redemption for these guys. These guys are bad dudes who are on a bad quest, and they just murder everybody. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying like I love murder. Between me and you, I've only murdered one person, maybe two. But whatever the case, when it comes down to Darth Maul and Savage, there's just this like this level of like, they don't care how old you are. They don't care how old you are watching them. They're not like your mustache twirling enemies. Like, now I'm going to explain my whole plan while I kill you. Like they just go in and kill you. if you're 5 or you're 15 watching the show, Maul and Savage don't care how young you are. You know what I mean? They're going to kill this person right in front of you. They're going to do that. And that's why I think it's just like, that's the best type of Clone War, especially like the last like 2 episodes of season 7, when Maul's just like murdering guys, like that's Clone Wars. You know, it was great. He's like cutting off clones' heads, and that's what Clone Wars is about. Not being violent, but not being afraid to show that bad guys are bad guys. And that's one of the Disney complexes. They don't let you go too far. So when they did that, I gave them some respect. I'll be honest. They got some respect when Maul just started ripping people apart in the end there and cut off that guy's arm for no reason, just because he could. I think that's just amazing. All right, let me see here. This one is from Stewie Smalls. Wait, another Smalls? Are you guys related? You guys are probably brothers. Stewie and the other guy, Dolby. You guys might be related. He says, do you remember your Kill, Marry, Bang video from 2016? Why did you get people who weren't Star Wars fans? Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so that's a funny video. That was like one of my favorite videos overall. Out of all my videos, it was one of my hardest to put together to make it funny. And it was one of my time-consuming videos to film. But I loved doing it. Like, that was like such a fun video to make. And the truth was, let me think. So we were at the mall. My friends were like, hey, let's all go to the mall. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to bring my camera. I'll bring my mic. And my sister was there, and she came with us. And I was like, I'm going to do some fun filming. We're going to do a Kill, Bang, Marry. You know, let's see how this goes. And so I went to the mall, and my sister filmed for me. I think she actually did a couple interviews too. And I was like, let's just start. So people would be walking by me. I'd make sure they looked like they might be old enough. I didn't pick any little kids, of course. I didn't pick any like super old people. I pretty much was just standing there, and whenever someone walked by, I'd be like, hey, are you a Star Wars fan? And they say no. And I'm like, okay. Hey, are you a Star Wars fan? No. And then eventually I just started being like, hey, can I ask you some questions quick? Because people weren't Star Wars fans at my mall. So there were a couple Star Wars fans, but most no. So I'd actually start out with like random questions just to kind of get them like into the interviewing point of view. And I'm like, well, you know what? Since I got you here, do you mind if I ask you some questions of entertainment? And that's when I would jump into like, hey, I'm That Alliance. Welcome. This is Casey, whatever your name would be. You know, out of 1 to 10, I remember actually I asked somebody, out of 1 to 10, how big of a Star Wars fan are you? And they'd say 0, and I'd be like, well, it's a 1 out of 10 scale. How are you going to be a 0? You know, just to play a joke. But yeah, that was a really fun video. If you guys have not seen that one, it's, man, like you said, 2016. Is it that old already? Man, time flies. Check it out. It's one of my classy videos. Just kidding. Actually, it's one of the videos before I started really making all my content more family friendly. So I definitely recommend checking it out. I don't have any bad words in or anything like that, but like it's subject matter you could consider more mature. I don't know. I think if you just sit back and you understand it, it's okay. Okay, where are we here? I saw another thing here. Okay, next one. This one's from Waterbender24. He says, Net, what is your favorite book? And also, did you know that on Discord you can stream? So you could do an exclusive stream on Discord like every Tuesday, since it doesn't require screen recording software. Okay, yeah, I have talked about it in the past. I actually forgot about it till now, but I mentioned one day I was going to do a Discord stream specifically for Discord subscribers, and I might actually do that. It's kind of like an alternative to like a members stream. I do have a Patreon. I do have like a membership ability for my Facebook, but that's not. I don't like to ask for cash. I'm just not like that type of person. So I mean, I understand when other people have to do that, but I don't have to, so I don't. So that's just what I do. So that'd be a cool way to kind of be like, hey, instead of paying money, why don't you guys show that you're the extra fan, and just go to my Discord. Like I mentioned, guys, Discord is in the link below. I'll actually post another one now. So if you want to join up and talk with some of the subscribers. And I've actually had a lot of people over the years who have become good friends because they met through my channel. So that's cool. Like they'll just be like doing this on chat, like they'll be talking about something and then someone will be like, oh, I like that too. And yeah. Anyways, let's go to your original question, Waterbender. I know, before I skip over it, I almost did. Let's see. Where was it? Okay, that's right. What is my favorite book? So this is the thing. I'm not a massive book reader. I was always more of a writer. In fact, if you guys don't know, I am actually writing my own book. It's almost done. It technically is done. I'm just going to wait till the second book in the trilogy is done a little further. So it's going to be cool. When I'm done, I might post on here. I might not. We'll see. It's more of like a labor of love. I'm not doing it to make money, but it's like 200 some pages. So I might as well publish it because why not? But I'm not doing that for that reason. So yeah. All right. Where are we? Okay. I think I caught up the questions. Did I catch up? Oh, I did. I think I caught up to it. Cool. So Tom N says, hey, Ned, I'm watching I'm watching the MCU for the first time. Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy tomorrow. Okay, sweet, man. Awesome. I got a couple of videos on the MCU, so if you want to check it out, go check out my previous videos. I talk about a lot of it. Okay, I'm going to talk about more Star Wars stuff. Go figure. But I like everything. I'm not exclusively Star Wars. At one time, I was exclusively Star Wars, but I've changed since then. I talk about pretty much anything I want. I actually am going to be doing a tech video soon, which is something that a lot of people don't know. I initially started off my channel as a tech reviewer. And then I made a Star Wars video and people were like, oh, that's fun. And people really wanted to see more Star Wars stuff. So I started making more Star Wars stuff. And so that's why it became that way. But I originally started this channel as a tech reviewer. And so I got like these different cameras that I actually have now. I don't know if you can see there's a camera right there. And it's got two really cool lenses that I got. And I wanted to do like a video on them. I know they're not really meant. Occasionally you'll see on my channel, like there are videos that are meant for like everyone on my channel. And then there's videos that are specifically meant for people who aren't really subscribed to me, but like are looking for specific answers to things. Like my video I made where I explained what I do. I explained I explained why the ad revenue is so low right now during the pandemic, like that type of video. That wasn't for like all my subscribers. That was more for like other creators who were like lost and looking for help. And so that's just kind of what I do. So yeah. All right, I saw another one here that I wanted to check out. Where was that one? Okay, this one is from Omega63. He says, if you introduce someone to Star Wars, which order would you show them for the first time? Episode, release, machete, net, flashback, or parallel? Okay, so this is a good question. I actually have a video on this, and that's probably why you mentioned this, because you saw the video. But I would say the most important watch for your first viewing, the most important way to watch is release order. That is how they're meant to be watched, I'd say. Watch and release. Then for your second viewing, do episodic. After that, though, once you get both perspectives of how to watch these viewing orders, then you can jump into any of the other ones. I personally would mention net order because that's like my personal favorite order, but that's because I made it. But yeah, I think it's the best cohesively as well. I think it tells like an interesting story that way. So if you haven't checked it out, check out that video, guys. I think I have a link to that in the description below. If not, I have a ton of other videos. Just go check them out. Even just add to like watch later. I have a lot of subscribers who they'll jump in and subscribe to one video of mine, and then later on they'll be like on YouTube, and they'll like a couple months later they'll be on YouTube and be like, you know what, I'm gonna check out Net's rest of these videos here. So they'll actually scroll down my videos and see, oh wow, I want to watch this, 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 and they end up binging like every single one of my videos. And I'm just like, and they'll message me and they'll be like, hey, I can't believe like you have this good of content. I actually thought that, you were just kind of like a one good video and done type of guy. And I'm like, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, yeah, I'm going to watch every video you ever post. And I'm like, thank you. Like, the truth is, if I had every subscriber doing that, instead of just subscribing for one video, they'd actually, go through my videos, the previous 100 videos I've done, and maybe just click on watch later to add them to your link, watch it whenever you can. It really helps out the channel to do that. So instead of like one person watching one video, I could have one person watching 5 videos, and that makes up for my algorithm. Because for those who don't know, YouTube does not like my channel for whatever reason. I have comments every day from people saying, "Hey, I didn't get this video. Hey, I didn't get this video. Like, it didn't go in their subscription box. They had to find it." And it's just, that has been my issue since I started this channel for whatever reason. So the best way to help me out is to make sure to hit that bell, and maybe even send a share it with friends. Share it with at least one other person who might want to watch it. If not, that's okay. But at least it's now out there, because if they don't want to watch it, maybe their little sister or brother wants to watch it or something. I don't know. So yeah, back to the questions here. Wait, did I answer that question? I did. Okay, just making sure. Sometimes I'll start with like answering a question, and then I'll go on to a tangent, and then I'll forget to answer the original real question. So yeah. Okay, moving on. Happy 24th. Hope it's a good one. Okay, so it's not my 24th birthday. I'm actually turning 70. I just look good for my age. So, yeah. I'm just kidding. So I'm not turning 70. My back feels like I'm turning 70 though, man. Like, for some reason, these last couple of weeks, my back has just, I feel so old. I even have like a lumbar support on my look at that. See that? I had to get lumbar support on my chair. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know why it's like that. Oh, it feels good stretching though. Ooh, that's a good stretch. All right. Okay. Okay. Where were we? Okay. AK Master, who are gonna publish the book to? What? Who are you going to publish the book to? I think he meant. Who am I going to publish the book to? I don't really know I might just self-publish. Like, I know if I send it to a publisher, I could probably get a partnership with them, and they'll publish it for sure. Because I've had a couple of my friends who actually read, and and especially one who specifically reads the type of genre my books are based in, and she loves it. So she actually is like mad at me that I didn't even start book 2 yet, because she wants to jump right in. But which is cool. That's awesome. I'm glad that someone likes it, especially like the demographic that I'd be aiming for, like that type of fantasy, ancient Greek genre. Like, that's what I'm aiming for with my books. So I'm hoping that that's what people like. But at the end of the day, I view it as kind of like how George Lucas views the prequels, in the way that like he made them because he wanted to make them. If you don't like them, that is perfectly fine. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if you like them or not. He made them because he wanted to make them how he wanted to make them. So you got to respect that. Regardless of how you feel about the prequels, George Lucas made what he wanted to make. And whether you consider them good or bad, he made them the way he wanted to make them. And that's how I'm making my books. So, yeah. All right. I saw something else. Okay, so Crystal Bricks. What's the saddest Star Wars death? So this is a good one because there's different types of sad deaths. There's ones that are like, oh man, that's sad. And there's ones that are like, oh, I'm devastated. There's ones that are like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. That's a shocking death. There's fake out shock deaths like Chewbacca. I would say, let me see. What death in Star Wars hurt me the most? When the first time I saw them and found out about them. I think the one that shocked me the most was Han Solo. But now that I think about it, I think Luke's death probably shocked me the most. That's the one that caught me by surprise, because I didn't think I thought they would save Luke for episode 9. In my head at the time, I foresaw Snoke and Luke going at it, because that's how I would have wrote the story, because I thought it would have been really cool to see these two this super high leveled Jedi versus the super high level dark sider, and then they both die in that movie anyway. So it is interesting. But let's see, what death made me so sad? Maybe just Padme's death I think is sad. Because Padme was awesome, and of course, she's beautiful, so that was sad. The death of Anakin Skywalker, that's sad. Let's see. So the theoretical death of Anakin Skywalker was episode 3, right? Because when he died and Vader took over his body, that's sad. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of these deaths are sad, which makes sense because that means the characters were good. But I would say probably for me, Chewbacca's death was really sad, even though it wasn't real. Like, I didn't want Chewie to die, and I was happy to see him alive. But when they killed him like that, I was actually like, wow, like, this movie is not afraid now. Like, this movie is going to be something different. I don't want Chewie to die. I was sad when he did, but I was like, this movie is going to be different. And then, like, 2 scenes later, boom, there he is. And it's like, oh, it was a fake out. Okay, that's kind of deterring. So, I don't know. Han Solo death is sad. Probably Qui-Gon Jinn. And Qui-Gon Jinn isn't the saddest death, but I think for me, it hurts me the most because Qui-Gon is my favorite character. And had he lived, Anakin wouldn't have turned to the dark side, in my opinion. So many events would have been changed had Qui-Gon lived. And that's why I think it's probably the most dramatic and dynamic death. Because, like I said, had he not died, had he survived, Anakin probably would have turned to the dark side. And then that would have pretty much annihilated all the original trilogy, sequel trilogy. Luke probably wouldn't be born. Or it would be a different Luke, I don't know. It'd be weird. But I think also, like, with Anakin, he could actually go to Qui-Gon and confide to him. He could tell him exactly how he felt. And Qui-Gon wouldn't, like, look down upon him or try to just kind of make him get over those feelings. With like Obi-Wan, Obi-Wan was like your orthodox Jedi. So if Anakin has an issue, he goes to Obi-Wan for like, hey, Obi-Wan, this is my thought process on that. And enough times Obi-Wan going like, put your feelings aside, Anakin, just, do your duty as a Jedi. After that many, I could imagine after how many times like Obi-Wan would say that to Anakin, after a while he'd be like, you know what, I'm just gonna like not tell you my thoughts and feelings anymore. I'm just gonna bottle up, And I could see that actually happening. With Qui-Gon, he'd be like, come on, like tell me exactly what's on your mind. What's going on? Tell me 100%. Like, if it's right or wrong to the Jedi Code, I don't really care. I prefer you do kind of more Jedi Code type stuff, but at the end of the day, I want you to be a better person than who you were the day before. And that's what I think Qui-Gon is best known for is the idea that he was a Jedi, but he wasn't like 100% a Jedi, he was a gray Jedi, as they say, even though it's not canon. I don't think it might be. I don't know. So we got James Cosgrove, and this is actually a good question. I actually came to him because I wanted to answer this one. So, Net, you ever gonna do another podcast with friends / viewers? Really used to enjoy those. I just listen to them while playing games. Okay, so you mean like when I have my buddies sitting here and we'd all be talking about Star Wars? Yeah, so we wanted to do one in episode 9. I don't know if you guys remember Psychotech. We were going to talk about episode 9 stuff, and I was going to actually bring those guys back in for more podcasts, but now due to the quarantine, we're technically not allowed to do them unless they like. I sit here and then one would sit there in that chair and be like all against the wall, Until the quarantine passes, I would like to bring them back. Big Pipe 24, Psychotech. I guess I could have Net Wife on here, but she's not really like a, a massive Star Wars fan. She's a fan because I'm a fan, but like I haven't had Psychotech on here for years. He used to be like on every week he'd show up. So I don't know. Maybe, well, I'll have to get the squad together again. It's been a while. We'll have to do like a lightsaber tournament too. Just because, like, not only because are they fun, but they're also like amazing workouts. So, and I need to get a workout. So yeah. All right. So next one, the Smug Smuggler. He says, "Do you watch The Office, dude? The Office is the bomb." .com. So good. Okay, Waterbender24, he says, "Net, can you add a fan art area for Discord?" That's actually a really good idea. I don't know if you guys remember this, but in my old office, I actually had an area for fan art. And I think I'd like to put another area somewhere in this room for fan art. I don't know where I'd put it. Maybe back there. As you can see, I got a bunch of boxes and stuff in the way, but I'm going to move those eventually. That could all just be a fan art wall. That'd be cool. It's been a while since I got fan art. I still have my old ones saved, but yeah, sure. That's something that can definitely be doable. I'll have to talk to my admins on Discord and see if they can add that or do that type of stuff. I don't usually deal with like the Discord extra stuff. I just say, "Hey guys, can you make me this?" And then they make it for me. So I don't really deal with the extra stuff of the Discord. I'm more of just say like, "Hey, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. Why don't we get rid of this? Why don't we add this?" So that's a good idea though. 100%. Yeah, I like idea men. So keep the good ideas coming. Okay, so I'm actually really far behind the chat. So I'm going to scroll back down. If I missed your question, just repost it. I'm still going to be on it for another 15 minutes, so we got still plenty of time to answer as many questions as you got. Where are we? Meow Donkey. He says, Are you gonna play the new Lego Star Wars game?" Yeah, of course, man. That is the game I'm looking forward to. I love the old Star Wars. I love the old Lego Star Wars games. I played those back when I was, let me think. Okay, so this is something that a lot of the younger viewers don't actually know, but the Lego Star Wars, the complete edition, episodes 1 through 6, 1, 2, and 3 actually came out when I was in 2005, and then like in 2006 or 7, episodes 4 and 6 came out, and these were two separate games. So if you were playing the prequel games, you wanted to play episode 4, you actually had to like switch out the disc. So that's actually pretty interesting. A lot of people don't know that. And then around like 2010 or 11, around 10 or 11, they released the HD 360 PS3 edition, and that took both those games and combined them and made them the complete edition. So, and then you didn't have to switch discs to play the games; you could just play all of them. So that was really cool. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this new Lego Star Wars because I love the old ones, and I'm hoping that the new ones have just as much heart as the old ones. So, yeah. Okay, next one. Where are we? Yeah, where are we? Wait, hold on. Pooch the dog. Am I missing something here? Someone says, "Wait a minute. You smoke? You smook?" Smook. I don't smoke. No, I never drank. Well, I've drank before, but I don't like drink. You know what I mean? Like I'll have like a Mike's Hard every so often or something like that. Yes, I've never been drunk, never smoked, never did dope. It's possible, kids. It's possible to stay in the right path. Just be chill. So yeah. All right. Okay, so Tom N asked, "How does the net order go?" Okay, so net order, I have a full video describing all of this stuff. It's going to take me a while to kind of explain that whole thing. So I definitely recommend just going and checking it out. Let me think. I made that video like last November. So check out, November. It was either November or October. So just go to my recent videos and just keep scrolling until you get to around that time and you'll find it. It's got like, I think it has at least 100,000 views by now. So I definitely recommend checking that out for the full explanation on the situation, you know? Actually, you know what? It's interesting. I got a link from a buddy of mine who said that people on Reddit are talking about my my order, and someone mentioned about like, what is the net order, or why is it called the net order? And someone said because it was created by a YouTuber named Net Alliance. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. People are talking about me without being on my chat. So that's cool. I guess my net order is actually starting to spread and people are knowing more about it. So that's pretty cool. I don't really care if I get recognition or not, but it's more of like, I just like the name, net order. It gives a little bit of a hint towards me, even if other people don't necessarily know who it is. I'll know. And that's the most important part. All right. Skeletron. Wait, what about a Skeletron? He skipped my question. Sad. Oh, okay. Now I'm reading it. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I don't smoke Skeletron. We good. We Gucci, as the kids say. You know. Okay. Why? So this one's from Mojo Challenges. He said, "Why did you stop doing videos on Nikki T channel?" Okay, so Nikki T channel came out. I made that one back in 2012. Okay, and it was initially just a hobby channel. I would occasionally post like videos to be my friends just messing around. I would talk about. I eventually started doing top 10s, and it was fun. So I became Nikki T's top 10s. It started back when I was in high school. On my morning announcements, I actually had my own show called Nikki T's Top 5. And so I would do like, top 5, whatever, Christmas shows, songs of the week, stuff like that. And I eventually transferred after I graduated, I transferred into doing it on YouTube. And it was at that time in 2012, 2013, when YouTube just like turned Nazi for a little bit. And I don't know if you guys know what I mean by this, but like it went from being like a really like post anything you want to being like, okay, we have to watch what we're posting now. And the copyright strikes were crazy. And in one day, my channel went from being actually profitable for a little bit to getting struck down. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I got struck. Like 3 strikes, I was out like right away. And it was I went to bed looking at my channel saying, oh, I made like $30 this month. That's cool. Cause that was a lot of money for YouTube back then, because you didn't really make anything on YouTube. And for such a small channel, I was like, wow, that's really cool. I can make something out of this. I went to bed, woke up the next day, 3 strikes, my channel's shut down. And I was just like, well, it's not shut down, but they took away my monetization. So I couldn't make money anymore on it. And I was just like, you know what? That's deterring. So I kept posting videos on there. And at the end of 2014, end of 2015, I was talking to other YouTubers, and they were like, hey, I came up with the idea, like, let's do like a collaborating channel. So we'll all have our own specific channels, but there will be like one big channel where we can all come together and, make videos together and stuff like that. And it was really cool. And I had like 4 or 5 other guys on board. And then when I made the channel, I called it Net Alliance, because it was the news, entertainment, and tech alliance, because we all did like different type of stuff, but it was all interesting and we could all kind of communicate. And they didn't want to be part of it then, or like they just kind of they either stopped doing YouTube, or they didn't want to be part of it, or they just didn't want to talk to me anymore. And I was just like, I don't know the whole specifics of why that happened. I know one guy was just like, I was just doing this for hobby. I don't really want to do it. And I just remember being like really deterred by that, because I made this whole channel with the idea of, being more. So eventually it pretty much just became like my hobby channel again. I'd post the occasional video where I just kind of mess with stuff. I talk about this or that. Eventually I got monetization on the channel. And one day I made a Star Wars video, and people liked it, and people wanted more and started giving me some other suggestions. So I'm like, okay, I'll do another one. And I did another one. And one day I woke up and I realized, like, I'm good at this. People like this, and I could actually make money at this. And I'm like, why am I not actually pursuing this? Because I could do something big one day. And yeah, so that's what it is. So I've been around technically since 2015. But I only started producing at the end of 2016, so more like 2017. But 2016 still. And I took a 1.5-year break when my daughter was born because I just didn't have the energy to do both. And to work at my other job and to work on YouTube and to raise a daughter. It was a lot of stress. And so I took a 1.5 years off just to do that. I released the occasional video with a little update like, hey, here I am. I'm okay. I'll see you guys soon. Hey, I'm here. And so now at the point where I'm good now. You know what I mean? And so for the last like 6 months, I've been really like pushing out videos. So while I've been around since the end of 2014, beginning 2015, my channel's been around for 5 years, technically. I've been doing YouTube for 8 years. You understand? But I only really started doing videos for like 3 out of those 8 years. So it's confusing, but it is what it is. It's just, real life has to take precedence over YouTube. That's just how it is. So with that said, let's jump into more questions. I got about 5 minutes left. Let's hammer these questions out. Okay. Can you do more Star Wars verses? I can do more Star Wars verses. The question is, do people want to see them? Let me know in the chat. Okay, next one. Ollie Mendoza. He says, Clone Wars or Rebels? Clone Wars. Yep. That one's easy. Next one. Zach Meister, and don't forget Bo-Katan. Oh, someone must have mentioned Bo-Katan. Do you think it's possible to ever see Luke in The Mandalorian? A de-aged Mark Hamill could be difficult. Okay, so I actually have a theory on this. If they're going to bring Luke back, they have to use Sebastian Stan. If you guys don't know who Sebastian Stan is, he plays Bucky, the Winter Soldier, in MCU. If you look at him and a younger Luke, he looks like he could be like a 30-year-old Luke. Now, we haven't seen a 30-year-old Luke. We saw like a 20-year-old Luke. We saw a 50-year-old Luke. But we didn't see like a 30 to 40-year-old Luke. He could play a 30 to 40-year-old Luke. And he's already on the whole Disney paycheck, so they could just easily put him in there. So I'd be okay with seeing him, and he could play Mark Hamill, or he could play Luke. What are your thoughts on Ahsoka and Boba Fett in The Mandalorian? I'm okay with it. I'm just gonna see how it goes. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I'm not against it, but if it's done wrong, I can see a lot of people getting mad at it. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Next one, Duncan West. Can you make a Marvel channel or Star Wars gaming channel? I'm not going to separate my channels. I initially thought I would do that. I was going to make a Net Alliance channel, which would focus on more on like entertainment. I thought about making a vlog channel where I would do more vlogging. I thought about making a gaming channel where I do gaming. But at the end of the day, I just don't want to make all these different channels. I'll be honest. I think I actually do have a vlog channel, but I forgot about it. And it's just like, I just don't want to make different channels. If people don't want to watch my specific videos, they don't have to. If you come for my verses, 100% okay. You can just watch my verses. If you come for my theories, you can just watch my theories. If you come for my my reaction videos, I'm sorry. My voice is still, hang on. I gotta get a drink. It's like I'm crying. That's some high quality H2O. Anyways, if you come for my specific videos, that's cool. You only have to watch those videos, So I would like if you watched all my videos, but if you only want one thing, that's okay. I don't get mad at that. I don't care. I have channels that I watch where I only watch specific videos too. Like someone mentioned Screen Rant because of my video the other day. Yeah, I only watch Screen Rant for their pitch meeting videos. That's it. I don't watch anything else. Other channels I watch, like Funhouse. I only watch their channel for like their demo discs. I don't watch anything else they make. It's just the demo disc stuff because that's what I grew up watching. So it's okay if you only watch specific content from me. I don't really care. I prefer if you watched everything, but I don't care. I won't be offended if you only come for one thing. That's fine. Okay, so let's see. I had technically 1 minute left, but I'm going to do 3 more questions, guys. So go ahead, lay out your questions in the chat. If I get to it, or if I pick it, I will answer it. So go ahead. I'm going to give 1 minute for you guys to lay out your questions, and we will see. Now, while you're laying out those 3 questions, I'm going to do one more here. Do you play Modern Warfare? Yes, I do, actually. I'm very good in that game, I'd say. I think my KD is like 2.1 or something like that. Like I'm good. I don't talk about it much because it's not real. Like I like to keep my entertainment and work separate in a way. So that's why I don't really stream playing other games besides games that you guys want to watch. I guess I could stream Modern Warfare, but the truth is I just don't really. I like to not play games while I'm streaming unless I'm doing it on purpose. So I like to either give you guys my full attention, or I like to just put all my attention into playing a game and not have to worry about entertaining an audience. So that's just how I am. I understand I could make money off of it. Truth is, I don't really care. I like my entertainment. I like my work. I like them separate, and that's just what I do. Okay. Now, let's jump in. I'm going to scroll the wheel, and whatever my finger lands on is where it's the question I'm going to answer. Ready? 3, 2, 1, and that is boom. Okay. This one is from CW Fun TV. He says, do you think they will add the Clone Wars and Rebels for DLC in the Skywalker saga? Yes. I think the Skywalker saga is going to be the end game of like Lego Star Wars games, because when you have, it's going to be like the nucleus, right? And so like the nucleus of, hey, this is the 9 games. Now here's a spinoff. Here's Rogue One. Here's Solo. And that's going to come out probably like every other month. They'll have like a season pass. So they'll pay $60 for the initial game, and then you pay an extra $30 for a season pass, and you get 3 different content, maybe just like 2 contents a year. I don't exactly know how they're going to go with that, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be like the end game of the thing. When I say end game, I don't mean like the Marvel movies end game. I mean like the legit end game, So of what they're doing with the Star Wars Lego games. So yeah. All right. Now, second last question. Let's do. Okay. Smug Smuggler. He says, MCU versus The Walking Dead. Oh, MCU. I really used to like The Walking Dead. I watched The Walking Dead from season 1 all the way up until Rick left, and I think that was like the end of season 8. Or maybe it was early season 9. And I would have left earlier, but because I was so invested in Rick's story, I stayed. And then when Rick was gone, that was it. Like when I watch TV shows, I like to put myself into specific characters' shoes, I guess you could say. And when I do that, I feel like I'm this character, and I am this character until this character either dies or leaves the show. And doing that, I feel more compelled because I am this character. So, for example, I did the same thing with Game of Thrones, and I'm not going to spoil that one, of course. But when this character dies, I was like, oh, that's me. And I don't really feel connected to the show anymore. So I disconnected that. Now, later on, when the show came out longer and I knew the one character was going to survive longer, I decided to put myself in his shoes. And then I watched the entire series then. But it's one of those things, like, I've always done that. Spartacus, I always put myself into Spartacus's sandals, I guess you could say. And so I felt more of a connection to him. And with Rick, I put myself into Rick's shoes, and I became Rick until he left. And then I felt that disconnect, and I felt like I could officially leave the show. And so that's what I did. So yeah. MCU, I love the MCU. Like, if I didn't do more Star Wars YouTube content, I would definitely be doing Marvel content, because there's just so much. And the thing about doing like Star Wars or Marvel is that it'll never end. Whether it's TV shows, movies, now, like, you have this solid set of, you have like a career path that's never going to die because of this, and because it'll last forever. So hey, that's cool. So yeah. All right, now last question here. Here we go. Let's see who's here. And boom. Okay, this one is from Muka Hate Angry Humans. He says, what do you think about Russia? Do you want to know anything about her? Russia looks cold. And everyone I ever see videos about in Russia, they all look mad. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. I don't know. I mean, maybe you're not all mad and cold, but it definitely seems that way in every type of movie content we see, especially Rocky movies and the Creed movies. The new Creed movie, that Creed 2. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. What do you guys think? Do you think Russians are all cold and angry? Let me know. But I'm just kidding, by the way, guys. I'm just messing with you. All right, so that is the end of my birthday stream, guys. Thank you guys for coming out. I got all dressed up for you guys. I'll be streaming again on Sunday, next Sunday. I'll have a video out Wednesday, and there's a very big special surprise video coming Saturday that people have been waiting for a very long time. I'm not going to say specifics, but it's going to make a lot of people very happy to see its return. But I'm not going to say what it is because got to keep it secret. You know, that's just the way it goes. But thanks again for watching, guys. I appreciate it. I love you guys. Another big announcement I have. Real quick, for those who are still on, look at this. I'm going to be giving away some of my Star Wars exclusive posters. See that? I'll have further information on this stuff later on in the week. But I'm going to be giving some of these away, but they're also for sale too through a marketing company that I'm working with. So if you might be interested in these posters, see them? They're all there. They're the ones on my up here on the wall. You can actually buy some now. So I don't know. I guess contact me on Discord. I might be able to lock you in for something. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. Well, thanks again, guys, for watching. Oh no, I'm in my shorts. Yeah, that was my leg. You guys like my leg? Look at that. Oh yeah. But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace. All right. I always forget how to end these darn streams. Oh, okay, there it is. All right. Peace.